So start by drawing a hexagon, and if you do this as we go along, it'll be much easier. Don't just listen, find something to write with, find something to write on, and stop this video if you need to get them. Okay, so I'm assuming that you've got something to write on and something to write with. So draw the hexagon like it is on the screen, with the horizontal lines parallel to each other. There's lots of other ways of drawing the hexagon orientations, but that's the way you want it. Right, so the first step is we're going to tell you a little story, because people remember stories, they don't remember facts. And the story is that a dog went for his walk with his friend a goose, and while they were walking along, they saw the most unbelievable thing. They saw 2 elephants fall out of a tree. So a dog and a goose went for a walk, and they saw 2 elephants falling out of a tree. Now, that's quite a good story for remembering things by, because it's clearly ridiculous nonsense. And ridiculous nonsense tends to be quite easy to remember. So how does this all fit together then? Well, so first of all, your dog. Oops, my computer's making interesting noises. There we go, there's your dog. And the idea is that your glucose molecule is going to start off looking like a dog. Now clearly it looks nothing like a dog, but there it is, right? So it faces to the right hand side, it's got an eyeball, it's got a tail, it's a dog. Clearly it's not, it's a glucose molecule, or it will be soon. So every line represents a covalent bond. Where 2 lines meet, there's an atom, so there's an oxygen atom that's the eyeball of the dog. Next step, fill in all the blanks where lines meet or ends of lines with carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is looking good, because remember the formula for glucose is C6H12O6. So there's your dog. Not a dog, but it is a dog. And then number the carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is going to be important because it's going to decide where the bonds are later. You need to know how to number the carbons. So you start at the eyeball and you go around to the tail. You stroke the dog the right way around, not against his fur. Well, I suppose that would mean you stroke him along his back. You get the idea. He's pup side down. You've got to give him a belly rub. And then there's the goose, and the goose goes honk. Now clearly honk is spelt with a K, but you know, bear with me here, right? I'm doing the best I can. So what does this stand for? So H-O-N-C, H forms 1 bond, O forms 2 bonds, N forms 3 bonds, C forms 4 bonds. Now clearly if you do chemistry, and probably quite a lot if you do, that's not news to you, but there's people for whom that's not an easy thing to remember. So the dog goes for a walk with the goose. The dog shows you the shape of the basic shape of the glucose molecule. The goose tells you how many bonds you need. Now the 2 elephants. So there's 2 elephants, they're in a tree, and they fall out of a tree, and when they do, they go dud-dud when they hit the ground. And it's the dud-dud bit that you really want to remember, because that tells you where the hydroxide groups are. So the rule is down, down, up, down. Starting at carbon 1, which is the one on the right, remember, add in your hydroxide groups. In the down position, the down position, the up position, the down position. Dud-dud, 2 elephants fell out of a tree. Now, you'll have noticed that there's also an OH on carbon 6, but that doesn't matter, because where you draw that carbon is irrelevant. It can be anywhere on carbon 6. It can point up, it can point down, it can point left, it can point right. Sorry, it can't point down. It can point up, it can point left, it can point right. There we are then. Next, last step, add in all the bonds. So each carbon needs 4 bonds. So in the previous slide, the carbons didn't have 4 bonds. So I now fill in anywhere where the bond can go with the hydrogen. Now the one people forget is this one here in carbon 5. People remember 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, but they forget 5. They don't fail to notice that there's not 4 bonds in there. Right, now the unfortunate news is you need to remember glucose in that much detail, but the good news is actually it's not that difficult, is it? All you've got to do is remember the stupid story. There's a doggo. He goes for a walk with his friend the goose. The goose goes honk when they see 2 elephants fall out of a tree. Dud-dud. That's it.